Welcome back to Living Local. Have you ever wondered how wild animals behave when there are no people around?
Always, actually.
Yeah. New state-of-the-art technology is allowing conservationists to study and protect wildlife in a completely new way.
And here to tell us more about how it's helping endangered animals is Joel Vanderbush from Niabi Zoo and Todd Lehmen from Wildlife Protection Solutions, who has traveled to the Quad Cities for Niabi's conservation series. Hey, gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Todd,
Always
welcome
great
to the
to be
show.
here.
Yeah, Joel, welcome back.
Yep.
Hey, so Joel, you've had a number of speakers with you, but this year you're talking about you've talked about so many things over the course of the summer. It's kind of rad, and this is kind of rounding out your series, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I think the one thing that we always have in common with studying wildlife that we don't often focus on is how do we collect data on that wildlife, right? A lot of people imagine that we're just sitting out in a Land Rover with big binoculars just staring at all the animals. And we do that, but that's not how we collect most of our data. Okay. The way that modern conservation is doing it is we cannot climb the Himalayan mountains and watch snow leopards because we'd all freeze to death, right? And so the idea is, can we use technology to be our eyes and ears, right? And that's really the main key, is like if we can put technology out there, let that take all the images and then analyze that data later, we can tell a lot about what is actually happening out there, the interactions amongst animals, whether there are poachers out there. I mean, we can see a lot of things and really take real action to protect those species.
Yeah. So Todd, talk to us a little bit about this new technology, and you brought it with you today too, that you're using to help conservation efforts.
So we, going off of what Joel said, we have a network of real-time camera traps. Well, normally Joel would go out to the field and have to pull SD cards out, and it's all a very manual process. But we actually have a whole system that uses remote camera traps, so we can actually watch what's happening on all of our different partner reserves in Africa from right here in the United States, which is really, really cool.
Wow, that's really impressive.
That is crazy.
And I guess what's the main focus, and what kind of impact have you had on this study?
Well, we are now partnering with hundreds of reserves around the world.
Wow.
The main focus was actually anti-poaching. So if you're familiar with elephant poaching or rhino poaching, that was kind of the impetus to start doing this real-time monitoring. So these are all motion triggered. So if anything walks in front of this camera, such as an elephant, we get to see that essentially on our phones or on our laptops or on our iPads, right? And every once in a while, we'll see somebody walk through in the middle of the night, sometimes with a rifle or some sort of weapon, who is going out to harm an elephant or a wild animal. And these camera traps help us alert wildlife rangers on the ground immediately, and then they can go out and essentially stop the wildlife crime before it happens.
Okay. And is this usually used like on larger animals like elephants, giraffes?
That's a good question,
yeah, you can do all sorts of different wildlife monitoring, so that includes elephants and giraffes, for example. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you could use it on some of the smaller animals.
Well, absolutely. So just like, the trip that I had taken to Zimbabwe this last year, we were using a lot of camera traps, but as Todd was saying, even if there were poachers caught on that camera, because the camera is taking images of whatever is in the shot, right? And if there was a poacher, we wouldn't know until like the 3 weeks after we've gone out to pull the card, process all the pictures, and go, oh look, there was a person with a gun. But by that point, even if you report it, it's like so far past that they're going to be long gone. But the idea of being able to see that live and then call the authorities, there's a better chance that you might actually be able to stop that.
Technology has like really improved what you're able to do as conservationists. It's kind of wild when you think about all of the opportunities that are available there.
Yeah. So how are you using this for education, though? Talk to us about that and what people are learning.
So in an effort to kind of raise money to get more camera traps out on different wildlife reserves to enable the public to help stop poaching, we thought, how can we bring back a wild African animal reserve to the United States? And so we just started to, hey, let's film in VR. This is this new kind of kitschy technology that's really cool. So we decided to start filming with 360-degree cameras, putting them on virtual reality headsets, and start to support groups like the Niabi Zoo for their conservation efforts. So to see a wild dog, to see a painted dog in a headset is a truly amazing experience because they come right up to the camera, and essentially when you put on the headset, they're coming right up to you.
Oh my gosh,
and let
that'd
me
be
just
amazing.
tell you, when we're in the field, they do not come right up to
No.
us. So even for us as researchers, as you know, I've come here to tell the stories of being in the field, right? And as our researchers are out there. But that doesn't really translate unless you can be there yourself, right? I can be the best storyteller, but the actual best storytelling is that video footage when you can put it on and you are literally there. And you can see everything all around you, including those animals.
That's pretty
amazing.
That's
I
insane.
can't imagine seeing that. Just looking at your phone, you're eating dinner, and you see an elephant up close.
It must be kind of breathtaking too, because you guys have more experience with animals up close than I do, but I would lose my mind, I think, in like a really good way. Kind of bringing it back locally, like what kind of endangered species do you have at the zoo that you're making sure that you protect?
Well, I mean, we've got 11 different endangered species at the zoo and like 26 vulnerable species overall that are at risk of extinction. And while we can't be in the field for every single one of those, because obviously there's conservation breeding, that we do at the zoo for like our Amur leopards, and I've been talking about fennec foxes and all these different animals, those that we can partner with in the field and provide support for them, or find better ways, so like this technology might be beneficial for the work that we're doing in Paraguay or in Zimbabwe, whereas this technology would be beneficial for us right here in the Quad Cities, so people can also experience what we're actually doing there in the field. And so I think, raising the awareness of what is happening out in the field and how we at the Niabi Zoo are active participants in conservation, I think is the real goal there. So ultimately, when we have these endangered species at the zoo, they have to be these ambassadors, but now we have a way to show the story of these ambassadors from their actual home zone.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is incredible. Okay, so Joel, Todd is speaking about this new technology tonight at the zoo. So give us all the details, what time, when, and are seats still available?
There are still seats available. You can go right online to niabizoo.com and just go directly to our event page. It is the top event on there because it's right now, and you can click and register straight from there. It is $10 for non-members and $8 for members, so they get a little discount. If you're a high school student or a college student, bring your student ID and you can actually get in for free.
Can't beat that.
And of course, if you're like a zoo volunteer, you can get in for free as well. But yeah, it's worth it to come out and see what's going on, and what I think is some of the future opportunities for us even at Niabi Zoo and the work that we're doing in the field.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have you here and learn more about what you're doing, and you're doing the good work, Joel.
Well, we partner with those that are doing the good work as well.
Yeah, for sure,
that's really the big key.
Well, thank you
both for coming in, and for more information, you can visit niabizoo.com/conservation.
And we'll have all those details posted at ourquadcities.com.